time to check in with yourself when you're spiraling down. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the latest insight into trauma recovery. If you have found that you got any nuggets of gold from this video, please give it a like, comment below, and share any questions that you may have. And feel free to share it with your loved ones who need to hear this. So, have you ever noticed when you start to spiral, it begins with a negative thought, a negative feeling, and then you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, the impacts of those words and how it made you felt, whether it's through your thoughts, whether it's other people's words, in the way you're perceiving that particular interaction or experience. And as you spiral down, you find yourself in a crisis through constant self-judgment and criticism, where you don't feel seen, heard, you don't feel loved at all. And this is where we can beat ourselves up through self-punishment, through these negative, dark thoughts. And as this keeps accumulating and we don't work through what we're going through that has kept us spiraling down further and further, that leads to suicidal ideations. And I share this because I have experienced this many times. And I want to share with you what you can do to break that vicious cycle. The question is, why is it that we choose to tolerate this behavior? And I invite you to do some reflective journaling around that and ask yourself why 5 times. Why are you choosing to spiral downwards? And perhaps your answer would be, because I feel like I'm not in control of my thoughts and feelings. Why is that? Well, perhaps I feel like there isn't a way out to what I'm thinking and feeling. Why is that? Because I feel so ashamed and alone in this. Why is that? Because I feel like no one sees me, nobody hears me, nobody wants me or loves me. My existence doesn't exist. And why is that? Because it reminds me of the abandonment wounding of my mother and father not being there for me when I was in high school, wanting to choose to party with my girlfriend, and instead I was lied and betrayed to work instead, even though I was given the green light to do so. So that's an example right there. So asking yourself why 5 times will help you to dive deeper and deeper and deeper as to where this spiraling down pattern is coming from. And then the next thing you want to do is to process these emotions by moving through it. It's so easy for us to hold on to grudges, resentment, hatred, anger towards someone, because we're actually doing it to ourselves. We're the ones who are suffering by holding on to these emotions that isn't really serving us if we stay stuck in them. So we need to learn to move through these emotions through whatever ways that will help you to release these emotions, to purge it out. So you will create an empty vessel in your mind and heart and body to feel expansive and liberated from the spiraling down pattern. Once you've cleared that, maybe you need to vent it out and imagine that you're seeing that person that you've got beef with. Perhaps you want to write a letter and just tear it apart, but you're not going to send it to them. Perhaps you need to scream into the pillow, whatever it may be. So it's about just moving these emotions out. Perhaps you need to dance it out and rage it out through the movement of your body through dance. There's so many different ways that you can be creative in moving those stagnant emotions that keeps us anchored in suppression. So it's really important to keep moving through it, because if we don't move through our emotions, it becomes like cement. It solidifies. And then when we keep spiraling down again, after numbing the first spiral, it builds up. It builds up, it builds up, it builds up to suppress our emotions, numbing ourselves out from not being able to connect and feel into the depths of what's keeping us spiraling down and staying down in the first place. And the third thing is, once you've cleared out these emotions, moving through it, connect with your inner child, because the inner child is the one that needs to be seen, heard, and loved through your heart, not someone else's. Because by doing so, we're constantly expecting them to validate ourselves. And that's not what we want at all, because that is seeking constant attention and validation to justify our existence in the world and our self-worth. What we need to do is we need to do that for ourselves by coming back home into our heart space, by having an open and soft heart in order to be loving, kind, compassionate, accepting, and forgiving of ourselves. And as we communicate with our inner child, maybe you might want to do this with your eyes closed and visualize your inner child. Perhaps you see yourself in the mirror and you see that inner child through the mirror. Whatever way you can connect with that version of you that's suffering, and ask your inner child what your inner child needs and give that to your inner child. So this will help you to reconnect the safety and support that you have for yourself without the need to rely on anyone else. And these are the steps that I have taken to help me to get out of these really tough situations of suicidal ideations and spiraling down, and what can I do to break that cycle? And the most important thing is to find ways to reconnect with yourself every single day. What brings you joy in your life? Because as soon as you know what that feels like, what that looks like, maybe that joy is multiple things. It may not just be one thing. Like, for example, if I tune in right now, what brings me joy? My happy place is the kitchen. It's creating delicious meals and to cook it intuitively. I feel drawn to get these ingredients. I don't want to follow a recipe. I want to play with different flavors and see how they turn out and indulge in a beautiful meal that I have gifted and given to myself. So that brings me joy. Another thing that brings me joy is the thought of my beloved, his sense of humor, his laughter, his smile, his warmth, his affection and connection. When I hear his voice over the phone, the thought of thinking of him and seeing his face brings me so much joy. He has this beautiful inner child energy, being Aries, always thinking he's number one. And it just brings me so much joy. He lifts me up. Other things that brings me joy is something that I'm looking forward to. Perhaps I've booked myself in for a spiritual social event, and it's a great way to connect with like-minded people and meet new people in the area that I'm in. Perhaps what brings me joy is doing what I love every single day. servicing my clients, hosting online circles, workshops, and retreats. That gives me so much joy to know that I can make a massive difference into someone's life through my personal journey and the skill set and experiences as well as insights that I can bring into that person's life that can fast track their journey with trauma. So there are so many different ways that can give us joy. It can be something as simple as art therapy. It could be meditation, and when you get into that moment where there's no interference, all you can feel is the presence of your beating heart. So tune into what brings you joy every single day, because I can definitely tell you, by doing so, it actually minimizes the spiraling down, because you're in a higher frequency that doesn't constantly enable you to spiral down. And when you're stable from within, the stability ripples out into all aspects of your life, because you choose to stabilize yourself first rather than burning out fires in certain relationships or at the workplace or fixing people's problems. It's always coming back to you. Where are you not being stable within yourself by attending to your emotional landscape? So, what will you do to break that pattern of spiraling down? If you want to get started with your healing journey or perhaps revisit it, you might be interested in attending my Fire Horse Inner Child Chinese New Year circle. And if you like to learn more of the details of that, it involves your personalized reading for your animal year, how to feng shui your home to leverage the luck and good qi in different aspects of your life, as well as a light language transmission to dissolve anything that's in the way of you connecting with your joy, with your inner child, and so much more. So definitely have a look in the link in my YouTube video description to learn more details there, or to book your spot or get access to the replay for 1 month if you can't attend live. If you prefer to see me face to face, I run my workshops in London and Adelaide, and there's different types. So definitely click on the link, copy and paste it that's in the video description for you to learn more and to see if it's right for you. And you can always book a free clarity call to ask any questions, any concerns that you may have, to help you move forward to make it happen. And lastly, if you need to work with me privately because that's your preference, you can work with me one-to-one in a tailored 1-day trauma recovery retreat, just you and me, focusing on any concerns and issues that you want to address that we can focus on to clear up in that 1 day. And this is great for someone who's time poor. Otherwise, I offer my Find Yourself in Trust, which is a 3-month high premium container for a high level person who is ready to do whatever it takes to get to the other side of trauma and to experience multiple breakthroughs and shifts and transformations in all aspects of their life. This is not for the faint-hearted. It's for someone who is willing and ready to go there with me into the full depths of who they are, to reclaim the sacredness of their essence, coming back home to them, to their most authentic versions of them. So you can book a free clarity call around that, watch my free webinar to learn more about my work, overcome the impacts of childhood traumas in just 3 months, which you can find in the links in the video description. So there you have it, my love. What can you do to break that vicious cycle of spiraling down? Checking in with yourself is an act of self-love, and you are so worthy to receive and be loved. May love show you the way. May love bring you back home to your beautiful heart.